Hello fellow audio nerds, I'm Steph and this is Major Hi-Fi. This week I was honored to be able to listen to the brand new Audeze LCD2 closed back headphones, and I'm super excited to share my thoughts with you today about them. So sit back, relax, I'll take you back in time to my first impressions and then back here for my overall thoughts. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to my place. Alright, so let's see what these babies look like. Alright, so they're just sitting here nicely in the box. So here's the cable. It's got two mini XLR cables that go into the headphones, one 1/4 inch cable on the other end, and the cable seems like just like the other Audeze cables, individually insulated wires here that are braided together, and so it looks really good. It's going to be a good length too. A certificate of authenticity. And here we have the user guide and warranty on a little USB stick. Paper free. I appreciate the green consciousness, Audeze. Thank you. And here are the headphones. Neat. They're really good looking. And they have some of the characteristic Audeze features. This 2-tiered headband with a layer of leather and a layer of metal. This is really lightweight. Now this metal is connected down here, this piece, and there's also a metal rod here for extending the headphones to make them bigger and smaller for different shaped heads. And then those are connected here to this little Y-shaped yoke, which is connected to both sides of the ear cup. And the ear cup rocks a little bit. It doesn't go crazy. This is sort of the range of motion here. And as you'll see, it's not as much as some other headphones, but they do turn completely all the way around here. And likewise, the headband is like super duper flexible here. Now the ear cups, as you'll see, are really quite big. These are, I mean, it's just like other Audeze headphones, but they're large. And I'm noticing that they're pretty heavy, although just from first kind of putting them on, it feels like they're lighter than some of the other Audeze headphones. Still quite heavy though. This ear cup feels like it's made of maybe the same sort of metal material as like the headband and things. I'm not totally sure on that, but it just, it's smooth and it's got a little bit of weight to it here. Now the ear pads are really thick and soft, just like other Audeze headphones, although to me, I don't know if this is just psychological, it feels like these are a bit firmer than some of the other Audeze earphones, and I sort of like noticed that when I first put them on my head, like my ear was really kind of suspended in space, not touching the ear pad, not touching the ear cup, just sort of sitting there. And that actually makes the ear pads really comfortable for me. Yeah, they're not totally symmetrical. You'll notice how thin they look from the front. There's this little kind of space here, about 1.5 inches thick. But then if I turn it around, you'll see those are much thicker in the back. So it sort of makes these ear cups sort of sit at an angle on your ear. They're soft, they're coated in this nice leather here, and you'll notice the shape of the kind of hole in the middle here isn't totally circular, it's kind of an oval shape. I'm excited to give these a listen. Let me hook it up with an amplifier and some music. Alright y'all, I'm all set up over here. Let's take a listen. Wow, the low end is really big and huge on these in a really tasteful way that sounds great. I'm listening to the song Royals by Lorde, and the kick drum sounds huge. You can hear the full sustain of that drum, and there's also sort of that bass synth that kind of goes throughout the song as well. And although there's kind of separation between the big kick hits and and that bass synth, I am noticing that there's kind of a flavor to those, a tonality that's really similar. It puts them in a similar place in the soundstage, and also just kind of gives them a similar vibe and a similar impact, so to speak. there's a lot of like warmth and smoothness in the mid-range. I'm listening to a song called Art is Hard by Cursive, and wow, yeah, so basically this song has these big electric guitars that are doubled with strings, and those sort of timbres in these headphones are really kind of blending together, but in a way that makes this really powerful big wall of sound that isn't taking up. It's still really powerful without taking up too much space or making it feel unbalanced. It provides lots of power while still being warm, which is like really kind of a unique feature and one that I'm really appreciating in these headphones so far. And that warmth is translating to the vocal, and it's interesting because I get this sense from listening that the vocal level would be quieter if the high frequencies were more energetic than they are, but the high frequencies sort of have this like very like smooth kind of quality, a darkness to them, and that makes the vocal actually sit in more of a predictable place, in a place where you'd expect it to be, which is really good, I think, and I think it benefits the listening experience. The high frequencies of these are smooth, and I'm listening to a song called Sunday Candy by Donnie Trumpet and the Social Experiment, and the vocal is mixed sort of brightly in that song. There's also like these high frequency rich percussion instruments that are going on throughout the song, and the high frequencies definitely provide like a sense of height. There isn't a sense of extension, but it's still like very smooth and sort of has like a sense of darkness to it. It has like a vibe and a definite character that's really, really aesthetically pleasing. I like it. Now the soundstage on these is like really has a great sense of depth and width, and it's really like fast reacting. I'm listening to a song called Night School by Frank Zappa, and the drums and like different elements sort of come in and out that are panned kind of crazily, and also there's like a lot of sort of like dry instruments kind of juxtaposed with more like wet and reverby instruments, and the soundstage is really, really responsive to both of those things. And like the sense of width is actually quite detailed, despite the fact that there's so much smoothness and warmth going on here. I was listening to a Brahms symphony, and you know, you could really get a sense for like the strings sort of being out to the side, and then when things kind of get a little bit more like intimate and quiet, these flutes come up in the middle, and it's really quite detailed. These headphones definitely have a sense, especially for being a closed back set of headphones. I'm getting the sense that the orchestra is like back here in space, and there's this feeling of like speaker-likeness to these in terms of their depth. Like it has this kind of automatic sense of depth that's just kind of built in. I'm gonna listen to these more with different sort of amplification, see really what their needs are, and see how my feelings about them change over the next week or so. So I'll see you in the future. Now the overall build and design of these is really strong and durable, yet also flexible and versatile. It seems like it'd fit just about any size head, any shape, and I really like that about these. However, I do urge you to just consider that they're a little bit heavy, so if you are sensitive to weight of headphones, then these might not be the ones for you. However, if you're doing sort of more limited listening sessions, like an hour-long session, something like that at the end of the night, then I think that these would be a really good option to consider. The low frequencies are strong and punchy, with some tasteful emphasis and lots of extension, actually. They react both smoothly and energetically, which is sort of hard to explain, I guess. However, the result is that the low frequencies really create a foundation that is solid and kind of true sounding, while also creating sort of a sense of cohesiveness overall to the sound. The high mids have a smoothness and a softness to them that really makes these headphones really an aesthetically pleasing thing to listen to. Definitely takes the bite out of harsher recordings, but also
creates this sort of like vibe to recordings that don't have like all that bite, but that still have a lot of like kind of bright and hyped energy. This sort of smoothness takes away a little bit from the sense of separation up there, but I think it's to the aesthetic benefit of the headphones, and it really creates a very like kind of particular flavor, if you will, that these headphones will give to the music. The low mids feel full as well, and they're also really warm. They feel a little bit more spacious to my ear down there, and that to me is where so much power comes from, especially with things like guitars, even horns, but really the guitars and basses also kind of get a really nice energy without feeling unbalanced. The high frequencies are pretty relaxed. If the high frequencies were color, I would say that these are sort of like an eggshell white as opposed to like a fluorescent white. And rather than making things sound more energetic or more textural, the high frequencies here make things sound more vibey, more flavorful, more of like a smooth gloss than like a prickly texture, if that makes sense. The soundstage is deep. It's deep and it's wide, and because of that, I think it's really great for just about any genre of music, and you'll really hear the full sort of spectrum of that stuff. Because of the kind of fluidity and smoothness of the frequency response, I think that the soundstage really actually is where you get so much clarity and separation. That's more of where it comes from than from like the specific frequency response, if that makes sense. The height with these is less dramatic, but it's still there, and I think things that are really bright sort of come through more so with the soundstage than even from like a sense of like, oh wow, that's a bright sound or whatever. It more so reveals itself by where it's sitting in the height domain. Thank you everybody so much for watching. For more information on these, be sure to check out the Major Hi-Fi blog. I did a written review there, so you can do a little bit of reading, check it out, see some more pictures a little bit more up close. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and for more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Alright everybody, thanks. See you next time. Bye.